I don't know if it's at the fit and finish on this car is shit, or if like it's a Ford Focus thing. But the fit and finish, like this mirror cap, look at that. Like what the fuck? I flew up to Detroit to buy this car. It's a 2018 Ford Focus ST. It's a rare color. I don't know how rare, but you don't see this color as much. Yeah, so I flew up there to buy this car. My dad met me there. We took a quick trip to the Ford Museum, which you'd think at the Automotive Museum of Ford there would be a lot more Fords than there were there, because there weren't really a lot of Fords at all. It was mainly an automotive and engineering museum. But then we went and picked up the car. The trip was pretty uneventful, besides the fact that the front driver's side windshield wiper blew off when I tested it on the highway. And then yesterday, halfway through our trip, we noticed that the front passenger side fog light bezel had flown off too. Then it has upgraded brakes in the back and Brimbos in the front, and it has Focus RS wheels on it, and that looks like a 1/2 inch spacer in the back, and probably the same in the front, maybe even more. And it has a Focus RS bumper, and it's badged as an RS on the front, which I'm going to change because it's not an RS. But it's got the faux carbon fiber pieces here with the front splitter, and then the fog light surround, which they don't really fit too well. As you know, this one fell off. So when I get this replacement, I actually ordered a replacement for both sides. I'm going to make a video on what I'm going to do to clip those in so they won't fall off, because I don't want those falling off, because they're not free. You got to pay for them, you know. And then also, I got a gap here I can stick my fingers in. I don't know if that's sag from the front bumper or the hood's not low enough, but judging by this gap here and here, well, that one's pretty good. But judging by this gap here, I can even it out side to side later on. I think I can get the hood down a little more to close that gap. But I also think it's a little bit, because it's not the factory bumper, that it's sagging a little bit. Other than that, it's a pretty good looking car. It's got the Brimbos on there in the front, slotted and drilled rotors. As you can see, there's a lot of rub. Every bump you hit on the highway is rubbing, right? So you got a bunch of rubber right there. And the bumper's kind of bowing out right there because of it. I don't think that's original body lines right there. My finger's all dirty now. Let me go wipe this finger off real quick. As for the back, it's got MBRP exhaust, which is a pretty cheap exhaust. There's a lot of drone, but this is the stainless steel version, so it's a little better than, I don't know if it's better for sound, but it's better quality than the just plain old steel version. Stainless steel should last longer, but it sounds really good. There is a catted downpipe on the car, so it has a code. It should be throwing P0420, I think, for the downstream O2 sensor. So right now, I'm going to check that. I can get the car to shut up. I had audio issues again, obviously, because I suck, but I had more than one code for the O2 sensor. I had the P0420 and the P0054, I think it was, which meant that the O2 sensor needed to be replaced because it was bad. And I need this code gone in order to pass emissions. This is where the O2 sensor goes on my downpipe, and right here I installed a J-tube defouler, they call it, and it comes with 3 different metered orifices, and I put the smallest one in, and I changed my O2 sensor, and that's getting rid of the code for me so that I can pass emissions. It sucks when you buy a car from someone who works on it who clearly isn't a mechanic, because this guy put this bumper on with about 10% of the screws. This thing is held on by luck. So that guy sucks. The horn doesn't work. And so I said, hey, why doesn't the horn work? Thinking he'd know. He says, oh, I got to send you some Hello horns. And so he didn't have them. He ordered them to my house. And the horn is plugged in. So I don't know why this horn didn't work when it's here and plugged in. So first we're going to check for continuity to ground, right? So we're on ohms, and now we got an alarm that's going to go off when the ground is good. Let's see. Yep, so we got good ground. And then she's in the car and she's going to hit the horn, and we're going to see if we have power to the horn. She's going to hit the horn and we'll see if we get any voltage. Hold it. Let go. All right, so we got power to the horn. Beep, beep, bitch. Let's see if I have some spades. Just some quick, easy wiring. Then quick and easily bolt this up, and I'll have a horn in a matter of minutes if I have the spades. All right, before I hook it up, let's test her. I got a couple spades crimped on there. If you're gonna do a lot of this type of stuff, I went and bought this tool. And this tool is made for crimps like that, right? So you got one end that's crimps it a little more and a little less, so that it crimps nicely around the wire and then nicely on the connector, so that it's holding the shield in just as much as it's holding the wire, so that it's not going to rip your conductors out of the wire, right? So this is a very nice tool if you do a lot of that stuff. I rewired a motorcycle that I built once, and I went and bought this because I did the whole new, because I rewired the whole thing, and this was invaluable on how nice it works. I have one of these. You know, real electricians hate this, but these are not good for crimping. This sucks. So if you're really gonna do a lot of stuff, definitely get one of these. It's not very expensive and it works excellent. It never over crimps. You got your 3 different sizes. So like these, if you see, yellow is a lot bigger than blue, right? Which is a lot bigger than red. And so it's color coded and it's super easy. So anyways, I got my horn hooked up. It took me about 2 minutes. And that's just because I had to get up and get my tools. So I'm gonna go test it. So we'll leave her hanging right there. Now let's go hear this. I don't know what happened to this one, but apparently the guy who sold me the car knew that this was the problem and not the wiring. So I'm glad that it was this and not the wiring. So now I just have to hook this guy up right here. And meep, I got a horn. Yep. Just like that will be perfectly fine. This thing is upbadged, right? It's got the Focus RS badge on the front bumper. And as a Mustang guy with the GT500, when I see an upbadged Mustang, I just think it's fucking sad. And so I'm not trying to pretend this is an RS. So I'm gonna replace this RS badge with an ST badge as best as I can. And hopefully that works out nicely. All right, one thing I gotta do is get this off and throw that on there. This is actually recessed in the panel. So when I put that on there, it's gonna look a little funny, and I hope that I can get it to sit nice and secure, but I'd rather have this look funny up close than this pretending it is what it's not. So I'm gonna use, I don't have any fishing string, so I'm gonna try to do this with dental floss, but I don't know if that's gonna work. I can't get it under there. All right, let's get this fucker off of there. All right, RS. Gotta get all that sticky stuff off of there, but I mean, it'll look shitty up close, but it'll look fine from afar. I'd rather have it, like I said, I'd rather have it look a little shitty up close. It looks like, I don't know, probably looks good on camera, and no one else is gonna notice how bad it looks but me, so whatever. At least it doesn't say it's an RS, because it's not. So if that falls off, I'll get a new one. But I think it's on there pretty good. I don't think it's gonna fall off. Sorry, RS. Hello, ST. All right, so now that I'm not fucking posing, now I'm not a poser, now I gotta get these to stay on. See, like they just, so I got some clips and we're gonna take care of that. So this trim panel keeps flying off. I've lost 2 so far and I don't wanna keep buying them. So I need to take the front bumper off, and I have a way that I'm going to secure them on the back so they don't keep flying off. The front bumper sags right here. It's aftermarket. It's not after. It's a OEM Ford bumper for a Focus RS, but this isn't an RS. But yeah, anyways, it sags right here, so I want to try to fix that. I don't know if that's the hood's fault. I don't think it is. I think it's the bumper's fault. All right, front bumper is off, and here it is. So what we have here is, so these fit right in there. They use these crappy little tabs that don't, let's see if I can get a better view. These crappy little tabs that don't hook up very well, right? So they fly off. I've lost that one 2 times since I've owned the car, and I haven't even owned it for that long. So that's no good. I'm not going to spend $100 on these every month to keep them on the car. I'm going to fasten them so they don't come off. So I'm going to put one on here and show you how it goes on. And one of the problems I've found putting my first replacement on is getting all these tabs in here can be difficult because they're just shit. So you can get all of them, but like one in there and it won't fit right. And so you really gotta like do them all at the same time and really get them in there. You know what I mean? So I got the outward ones in. Let's see it from the back. Okay. So let's get these in there. See how these 2 aren't in? Where are the bottom ones? The bottom one, this one's not in, that one is in. So getting them all in is a pain in the butt. See, it's in, but it's not even clipped. There's not enough strength to hold that thing in there, right? So one thing I realized when it's coming off, this is held in pretty good just by the design of the bumper, and this side, the inboard side, comes off and flies off. This has little teeth right in there that can just grab on to that and hold it. I get that in there and bend it, shove that on there. That's shoved on there. It's gonna hold. Let me. That's holding on there nice. So it did work. Well, I did those 2 on the driver's side, but on the passenger side, I did this one and that one to kind of get a more even pull on the inboard side. But I think that's going to do just fine. I'm just going to leave it and that. And because I bought 6 of these connectors, I just threw an extra one over here just to pull it in tight. Same with this side. So these aren't coming off, I don't think. I hope not, because I don't want to. I got 2 extra of this side, but since that side flew off twice, I don't have any more of that. But I'm not worried about it now because these guys are on there. I was able to get this gap a little better. I mean, it's not perfect, but that is 10 times better than it was when you saw it last time. What I did is I just wedged some wood in there to push the structure up away from the bottom, and it's literally 10 times better than it was. And I'm not gonna worry about it anymore. Another thing I noticed while doing these, the mesh fell out of here. So I probably don't care. I'm probably just gonna leave it because no one's gonna notice but me. But these things are on nice, and I am totally 100% happy with how that turned out. So the AC system on this Focus runs off of PFM, which is pure fucking magic, and I don't know how it works. Well, I do know how it works because I studied the whole thing and I've tested everything, right? So there's a lot of things that need to happen for the AC clutch to be commanded on by the PCM. So far I know that the HVAC control module requests AC from the PCM, and the PCM should command the clutch on the compressor to turn on, but I'm not getting the command from the PCM, but I am getting the request from the HVAC control module. And all the temperature sensors that help control this system all function properly, all their circuits are working and everything like that. I checked them all, and the pressure in the system that's monitored by the computer is correct within the parameters for the system to turn on, both digitally and when I hook a gauge up to it. And you can't just go to, it's not cheap to get the system serviced. Otherwise I'd do that as part of my troubleshooting, but I'm not spending 500 bucks on something like that because I know that the system pressure is good because I've checked it. So I don't know what else in this car is not letting the AC come on. My mind is blown. I'm ripping out my hair trying to figure it out. I've done the all data pinpoint test, done everything, everything's good. I changed the pressure switch and I changed the HVAC control module. Nothing works. I'm looking at everything through 4Scan and it's just blowing my mind. So this car, AC system, PFM, I don't know how it works, it sucks, but get ready to see more of this car on the channel. Once I fix the AC, I'm gonna tell you how I did it. Peace out.
Tell me how lucky you are.
So the AC system on the Focus runs off.
Tell me how lucky you are.
I'm lucky. Let me just record this, you think.
Why are you lucky?
So the AC system.
Why are you lucky?
Shut up. Can we just do this?
No, tell me why you're lucky.
Because I have you in my life. You have a big sweat line up your butt crack.
Do I? Okay, start again.
So the AC system on this Ford Focus runs off of PFM. Hold on, this is weird. So the AC system on this Focus, you can start like walking with me.